the top of your
I want to
head.
thank everybody for coming to the July regular meeting. Thank you for coming. Please sign the attendance sheet. Turn off your cell phones. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And we're going to remain standing for a moment of silence for our employee, Charles Anford. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. On Thursday, June 13th, the Town of Webb Department of Public Works had an accident that took the life of Charles Hanford, who's been employed with the Town of Webb and a longtime resident. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family at this time. Thank you. The next regular meeting will be on August 13th at 7 p.m. August Audit of Claims meeting will be held on the first Monday, August 5th at 5:30 p.m. Executive session may occur this evening if deemed necessary. We have some correspondence this evening. The board received a letter of resignation from Sergeant Cliff Baker effective on June 30th, 2024. We thank him for his years of service, and he's requesting his status change to part-time competitive in the Town of Webb. The board received a letter from the residents of Elm Street with their growing concerns of Elm Street and the road being a thoroughfare. They would like the Town of Webb Highway Department to maintain Elm Street. The letter has been forwarded to our attorney. The clerk received correspondence from Jay Zintel, who is very unhappy with the current board and the decisions that we are making. The board received an email of deepest gratitude from Katie Del Duca for incredible assistance she received from the Kinney's pharmacist and the town supervisors while she was visiting Old Forge and had a bit of a crisis. This evening we have Barb Green here. Thank you for coming. She's going to speak to the town about supporting 3 trailer replacements within the Town of Webb. Thank you, Barb.
Thank you for the time. Nancy, I'll give you my copy after. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just going to read what I just gave to the board, just so everybody knows what they're receiving. This is also going to Herkimer County Legislator Don Hale, who's taking it before the county for me. I already spoke with Jim Wallace. In 2022, I believe it was, or possibly 23, the town board applied for a mobile manufactured home replacement program, the MMHR grant, hoping to replace 2 derelict homes in Webb. That grant failed. The town board did not pursue a second attempt, so a group of community members have banded together to reapply with Living ADK as the lead. Living ADK is partnered with the town of Forestport, and a resolution was passed at their meeting last month. Between Forestport and Webb, we have identified 6 mobile homes that are in need of replacement, 3 in each township. There are very stringent requirements to qualify for placement on the application. Residents must live year-round in the home, have access to water, well, and sewer or septic. They must own the property that the home sits on and also fit into income requirements. The grant would provide for a demo of the existing home, temporary housing for the residents, new connections to electricity, water, and septic, a new pad, and the placement of a new mobile or manufactured home. Having more homes and working with a town entity will help boost the application. Showing support both in letters of support and alternate funding sources will also add to the appeal for the decision makers. The group has not only the support of Living ADK, or their organization, and the town of Forestport, but we've been given a pledge of $500 from Nichols Church toward the project. A letter of support will come from the Old Forge Library. I met with Herkimer County Administrator Jim Wallace 2 weeks ago, and he said that he believed the county could help with the 3 homes in Webb, not in Forestport, because it's another county. Today I received a follow-up call from Don Hale, our new county legislator. He's bringing the request to their meeting tomorrow. I asked them for $500 per home in Webb with a not to exceed of $1,500 if we have a successful grant. There's no guarantee that all 3 homes will be replaced, but we are hopeful. I'm asking for the town to provide a pledged amount toward this grant as well. We would appreciate written support with a commitment to the same amount that the legislator is confirming tomorrow, $500 per home in Webb with a not to exceed amount of $1,500. I can provide a template to the clerk for the letter if you decide to do this. The current homes have derelict wiring, outdated heating systems, outdated windows, and improper and unsafe egress. One family that I'm personally aware of cannot plug in a microwave, an air conditioner, or an alternate heat source because of 1960s era wiring. I hope the board can see the value of helping some Webb residents get into safer, more energy efficient homes, and it will also help to preserve necessary housing stock in Webb. So I understand you can't give me an answer right now, but I hope that you'll discuss this evening, and please reach out to me and let me know, the very least a letter of support, but ultimately a pledge if we have a successful grant for $500 per home would really help to elevate our application. And from there, I'm going to segue to what I gave you as page 2. And this is a heading from the governor's office from earlier this season. And has launched her Round 14 Regional Economic Development Council initiative. And it talks about funding applications now open with more than 20 programs. New capital grant program will award funds to projects located in pro-housing certified communities. So, as I said, this was the heading to the announcement of the CFA opening earlier. I came to the board in February to detail the importance of getting a pro-housing communities designation. There are multiple grants that you simply cannot apply for if you are not. Just to name a few, the DRI, Downtown Revitalization Initiative, that awarded the town of Herkimer $10 million that we were made aware of that night at that February meeting. You couldn't get that money. The New York Main Street Program, the New York Main Street Technical Assistance Program, Empire State Development Funds, of which there is $100 million available for projects this year. You would not qualify to apply for any of those. Any funds that you may be able to apply for will be impacted in scoring by not being pro-housing community certified. The burden of effort needed to complete the requirements is about 4 hours. You have very capable people in the codes office that send the required information. This grant that we are currently working on could be negatively impacted by the inaction of the board. The need to complete your zoning update can impact this process also. There are things specific to housing development that are meant to impact housing in a positive way in that update. The recent surge in development of private enterprise creating more workforce housing is also a positive towards certification. Please make a commitment tonight to move forward with the certification process so that you aren't missing out on the possibility of those large grant monies you seek for Main Street and sewer upgrades. It all goes hand in hand. The governor is telling you outright that you will not get the awards if you aren't certified pro-housing. So I'm sorry for sounding like a lecture, but this is really important to me. So I'm giving you these copies, Nancy. And then there is also just the tidbits, which you are all aware of, I'm sure, that tells the specifics for the grant. And then there's actually a resolution from their website that they would require also as part of the steps to do that. So I thank you for your time. I truly hope that you'll consider it.
Thank you so much. I'd like to talk about her first proposal.
$1,500.
The $1,500 in the letter of support. How does everybody feel about that?
I'm all for it.
All right.
Sounds like a great idea.
Do I have a motion to spend $1,500
I'll make that
on
motion.
the MMRH grant for the 3 homes in Webb.
I'll make that motion.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 2, I wrote a letter of support 2 months ago, and I asked that you guys reach out to Andy Getty's office. I spoke to Andy Getty at 5:30, no one's reached out. He said this is labor intensive for his office, and I wanted you guys, he wants full board support, and he wants you guys to realize what it'll do to his office. So I'm all about doing this, as I wrote a letter of support 2 months ago, but step 2 has not been done by talking to Mr. Getty. So that needs to be done ASAP.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry if I didn't.
No, that's okay, I just,
Remember happened.
we're all busy, so I understand. Macaulay Mountain Deck, we have a motion to advertise for sealed bids for deck replacement at Macaulay Mountain Chalet. Macaulay Mountain bids are due to the town clerk on or before August 13th, 2024 by 3 p.m. The awarding of the bid will take place at the regular board meeting on August 13th at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion?
I'd be glad to make that motion.
Mike, in a second.
I'll second it.
Ben? Board discussion?
Went backwards on that, so thankfully we kind of got it back in order.
Moving forward.
Would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Greco,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
All right,
Supervisor Baker,
Aye.
5 ayes.
A motion to appoint Cliff Baker as part-time officer in the Town of Webb Police Department. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Kyle, second.
I'll second.
No, you got it.
Mike,
Mike,
any board discussion?
No.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Greco,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Baker,
Aye.
5 ayes.
Full-time ski area attendant, a motion to appoint James Gerard, full-time ski area attendant, effective 7/8/2024. James has a 6-month probation, and he's replacing Doug Westcott. Do I have a motion?
I'd make a motion to hire James.
Mike, second.
I'll second.
Kyle, any board discussion?
No, Mike and I had the privilege of interviewing him, and I'm really excited to get him up there and get him start working. I think he's going to be a great fit for those guys up there in that crew.
Perfect.
Pretty motivated guy.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Hannah, Councilman Ross,
Aye.
you got Councilman Greco,
Aye.
Supervisor Baker,
Aye.
get you guys on your toes.
A resolution authorizing contract with Dolomite Ski Area Services and RJ Blennis Excavating and Concrete. Resolved that the town board finds that RJ Blennis Excavating and Concrete and Dolomite Ski Area Services are the only responsible entities with the skill and experience to perform the demolition and removal of the existing chairlift and the installation of the Partech triple chairlift at Macaulay Mountain. And resolved that the town board authorizes entry into a contract with either or both RJ Blennis Excavating and Concrete and Dolomite Ski Area Services for 3 phases of work, specifically, number 1, existing lift and building demolition and removal of the towers and footings taken down to grade, counterweight disposed of in place, and rubble spread neatly and steel removed from the footers. Contractor to retain all scrap and all lift and parts not scrapped for resale, such estimated value used to reduce this proposal for a price not to exceed $150,000. Concrete construction of the new tower footers for a piece not to exceed $398,750. Number 3 is the triple lift installation, erection of a price not to exceed $404,869,000, and the above not to exceed amounts do not include engineering, permits, inspection fees, licensing, surveying that requires a professional land surveyor, and it be further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to negotiate the specific terms and payment timing with the vendors and execute and deliver instruments and documents necessary to effectuate the purposes of this resolution without further action of this board in the form of a town council, approved by town council. Do we have a motion to adopt?
I'll make the motion.
Kyle, second?
I'll second it.
Ben, okay, board discussion.
Just want to make a quick correction. It was 404,869.
Yes, did I say something? I said it different, thank you.
That's right.
So this still stays under the $1 million price range that we were told in the beginning.
Correct.
Anyone else?
Sounds good to me.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Lindsay?
Aye.
Councilman Hannan?
Aye.
Councilman Greco?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Baker?
Aye.
Five ayes.
All right, that's all our business this evening. Councilman Lindsay, do you have anything for us this evening?
I don't have much. I did meet with the school last week. First off, congratulations to the class of 2024. I wish them luck in their future endeavors. So the ZBA did approve the school for their for the redesign of their enclosed staircase to go along Gilbert Street across from the post office. That's now heading to the state for final approval. They expect the approval to happen in mid-July. They're approximating a spring 2025 start date for that project. I don't know if anybody else was curious about the road work on 28 last week or the week before. The work being done was for the new digital school zone sign that the state approved them for. They're hoping that if everything goes to plan, it would be installed this year before school starts. And the school is also getting a new digital sign for the front of the school. That is expected to be in this October. They've closed the gym, the main gym from the summer for reconditioning purposes, painting new lines, sealing it, and replacing some matting. So that's all well and good. And then as far as Macaulay goes, do we need to make a decision on what they presented us last week as far as the compressors and the pumps? Doing one or the other or both, and holding one possibly for later in the year?
Okay, so hang on, let me get to my notes about the grant stuff we're doing. We're working with Michelle Higgins from the DEC on the snowmaking grant of $125,000. This will be used on compressors?
Yes, for the compressors, the first phase.
First phase.
The most important?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
And then they'll have a number for us soon for the 0% financing on the snowmaking loan if we choose to go that route.
Okay.
So that was the update on that.
Snowmaking, meaning the pumps?
All snowmaking, the
All of it.
entire snowmaking,
Pumps and compressors.
everything. They needed to
Well,
be.
their proposal was, if I remember right, these compressors needed to be ordered and moving on very rapidly, otherwise they aren't going to be
Correct.
for this year.
Right. And we
Correct.
already got the $125,000 grant
Correct.
towards that.
Yes.
And then we were thinking about waiting until later in the year, not to exceed that March deadline for the pumps. So like right around budget time, we were thinking about talking about that for the next year to get that in place. But I just wasn't sure after we talked on Monday, after they presented it to us, if we had to make a decision tonight to go forward with the compressor phase to get that ball
I
rolling.
think we do if we're gonna get them.
Mhm.
I thought there was more quotes missing on certain parts of the install when it came to electric and whatnot.
There is
Is that
quotes
right?
missing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he sent them over this morning. Should. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say.
And he sent them to me.
Okay,
He was on her job.
okay.
And it wasn't-
So that's my only question about that, because it should get done this
Okay.
year.
Yeah. Well, without those quotes, we don't have,
Right.
I mean, I didn't see those quotes, but
I was just asking,
I
yeah.
can pass them on. I just got them this afternoon.
what do you say about?
Perfect, thank you.
I'm good.
Anything else?
Nope.
Councilman Hannah?
Thanks, Kyle.
Oh, thank you everyone for coming tonight. I would like to give my condolences to the Hanford family. Chuck was a good guy and a longtime member of this community. Macaulay, I'd like to thank Kevin and Chris for their hard work on putting together the snowmaking proposal and presentation. I'm looking forward to the start of construction next week. Macaulay, the new ski lift. It's a good step in the right direction. Progress on the mountain bike trails come along well. They've completed 2 full trails and they are working on the 3rd one coming down off Little Moose. Bonnie and I had a great meeting with members of the Community Health and Wellness Fund along with members of MBHS and looking forward to our next meeting, the future of healthcare in our community. That's all I got.
Thank you. Tom? Councilman Greco?
Them employees around here, you know, our town workers, everybody across the board, just, you know, thoughts are with everyone there, the Hanford family. What an unfortunate accident. And, you know, all those guys went to work the next day and, you know, and then they rolled right into their busiest time of the year pretty much, and look around, everything's getting done. I've talked about it almost every meeting, just so much credit goes out to our employees. I'm so thankful for them, and I know many of us are, it's not just me. So, as far as some other things go here, I just wanted to touch on that pro-housing thing. You know, with respect to Andy and his office, they've done such an amazing job with the short-term rental permit stuff that's come in, everything they've had to handle over there. I think Barb, you know, she does her homework, and when she says in here it takes about 4 hours of work to get done. I don't see why we can't just make that designation of being pro-housing without having to go over there and talk to that office. I mean, I think it's really silly of us to kind of sit on that when it comes to what kind of grants and things that we would qualify for if we're not pro-housing. So I don't know if there's a way we can kind of move forward on that anyhow. I mean, if Andy's office were to come back and say, hey, it's going to take some more time, we might need another employee to get this done, or maybe pay some overtime, I think our answer, I would hope, would still be yes to that. But again, it's just a designation.
I would like to
housing.
move forward to it, but I would like you guys to talk to Andy first. Because he did ask that you talk to him.
No,
So I have to support my department head and get you guys to talk to him about it.
Won't hurt us by waiting until like August
I think we
to
could-
get that designation.
Right, or we could do it on a Monday.
I was gonna ask Barb if there was a deadline.
Oh, we can't do it on, we shouldn't do it on Monday.
And I'm always glad to talk to folks. I've got no
Yeah.
problem with that, I just didn't really,
Yeah, no,
it's gonna
yeah,
take some work, you know.
that sounds great, I'm all about it.
All right, we can wait on that then. Last time Brian was here with that zoning review, I know it's still the same thing, just has it been passed over to him with the zoning review there with the lawyer? He's still overlooking it all? Nothing?
Nothing, I haven't heard a word on the zoning.
He did pass it over to Brian.
Okay, just trying to get an update on
Is
that, so we can
it,
try to get that
so
to
you
a
wanna know if
public
it's in
hearing.
Andy's hands or Brian's?
I think Andy had it sent over to Brian.
He did.
And Brian was here, and I think he said he was looking at it in the last meeting, our lawyer, Brian.
Okay.
And then the income study, there was a little email somewhere, right? floating around there, I think, that some of that came back and kind of qualified pretty well for that.
Yes, we did.
From Corey Reed there
Yes.
for,
Now we just have to get them to accept the income study. They
yeah.
don't always accept it. A lot of times they go by.
What
What's it
was the
called?
one grant I saw that it took our chances of qualifying for a
Yes.
sewer grant from 25% to 50% right
Yes.
off the bat, so that income study really helped us
It
out.
did help us out, and thanks to Herkimer County for
Yeah.
that. They paid for that. Just so everybody knows.
Lastly, there's, you know, I think we've got to try and figure out what to do with the, permit thing between us and Inlet. I'd really like to see us go back into that for now. I really don't think our town can handle another, lopsided balance of our economy just taking another hit here with it just being so summer and fall oriented, and our winter taking another pop here, especially with the mountain being in question here and getting all that stuff done. It'd be pretty tough if we didn't get that done, and also losing some customers and people coming here with the snowmobile stuff. I mean, I don't know if I tried to bring it up at the Monday meeting to talk about. I don't know if anybody is anywhere with it or how Ben and Mike's meetings went, but I really think we should consider just kind of reinstating that, even offering, and there's 2 board members here right now, even offering to go back into the 14 that it was, or to see, I know that 20 came up on their end. I just don't think it's the time for us to add that to the list of things that are hurting our winter economy here. And it's getting harder and harder for people to stay open over the winter. And it's getting harder and harder for people to stay open during the winter, which allows people to live here. And the less and less people we have that can live here, the more our community will suffer. So, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that. What do you think we should do? I mean, even if we were to stay where we are and then they go free or whatever, it's going to be quite an adjustment for such a short period of time. I don't know. It seems like that we should at least, I don't know, come to an agreement on our own that what we're going to. I mean, again, I'm one vote, so if everybody says, let's just leave it the way it is, they go free, we go on, then I think that should be decided.
Well, that's part of what we were, as the 2 of us and the 2 of them were sitting down to the table, and we did have a meeting. I thought the meeting, to be honest, was productive. I think we talked about a lot of the changes, differences, all the things on the table that we both, I believe, these guys are here so they can correct me if I'm wrong, we both have concerns about a lot of different things. As far as the percentage, I don't think at 14% is gonna cut it, but that's just my 2 cents and listen to the meeting.
You meaning like fair to them, you're saying?
Correct.
I just think that in this whole thing, let's say $1 million in permit holders, right? That's what the revenue is. 20% is 2,000 or 200K, 17% is 170K, 14% is 140K. It varies there between 3%, it's $30,000 we're talking about. $30,000 is a few snowmobiles and sales tax that come in here from people coming here to hop on our trails and use the trails that would just make up for that. I just think it's really silly for us to combat that right now, especially when Mother Nature is already taking its toll on snowmobiling. Why choose this time to almost add fuel to the fire? I guess it's just where I'm at with it. I just don't think it's the right time for us to go on our own, and then while snowmobiling continues to take its hit, Mike, and then at the same time, the mindset is going to be, it also was town of Webb and town of Inlet not getting along and separating our community for years to come. I don't know. We've paid, so that should be noted too.
Yeah, we thank you. We got the check.
Absolutely
We're
appreciate
everything's
that.
good there. We're all caught up.
22 and 23
Appreciate
are
that.
paid, 23, 24 are paid, and even if we're not gonna do anything, I think it's irresponsible for us to just kind of leave it up in the air.
Correct. And I don't disagree with all the things you said. I don't think we should be separated. I would like to get this together. Like I said, we had quite a lengthy discussion on a lot of options. It was give and take. Unfortunately, we haven't had a discussion with this board. Ben and I haven't had a discussion with our board, just go into a, how do I want to say, an end result here without having, I don't know, I don't even know where to go with it as of right now tonight with a solution.
It's just
I don't
time
know
for
if
me,
you
you
guys-
know, it's
I mean,
time.
Dan
I
was
don't
at the
have
meeting.
anything written that you guys talked about earlier. And Kyle, do you have anything?
I don't have anything written, no.
Right. I
Mike
would-
did reach out to me yesterday. From what, everything that you told me, it is a lot to digest. I would like to talk as a board to get to the bottom of something, whether that happened now or later, but even within present, I think we all should talk.
Is it fair to get a percentage, to get near a percentage, Kyle and Bonnie and Ben, for everybody?
I think
For us to get someone with a
I think we
percentage,
need to have a board discussion.
and then the other,
I think we need to have a board discussion.
There is a lot of information that Ben and I discussed with them. I don't know if you guys want to speak of it.
Well,
I do think we should
I'll
have
bring it
another
up. You want me to bring it up? I'll bring up
I
what.
don't know where to go with it
Yeah.
because I really honestly, to the audience, really don't want this to be a bashing period. We are really trying to work hard on this.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't care. There's a lot of little things that a lot of people don't understand, and I'm sorry that that's that way, but there is. And I don't know if you guys can help me on that, but I seem to have been the bad guy every time I speak, so.
I would like to have a board discussion.
I just wanted to clarify and basically validate what we do with our money, where the investment's gone over the years, from one room to 3, one drag to 6, how many miles, where we go. That's what our meeting was about, where our expenses, why we talk. We earned our share of the money, I guess. I didn't make you guys validate your end yet, and I believe you. It's a little bit of a one-way street, but not, I get it. It's nice to start somewhere. No problem with me. So, again, that's how I got there.
Yeah, and I think time is a wasting here. And if we don't come to some agreement real soon, we're kicking it to August. Even if we come to an agreement, we're gonna have another month in dealing with the agreement. So we're kicking to September. I really think we need to get this hashed out. Is there a way you guys can
that's what I was
have
talking
an
about.
executive session tonight, talk, and invite us in, don't invite us in, do whatever you want to do so that we can get back out and have a discussion afterwards, so we can settle this tonight? Is it possible?
I don't have a problem with that. I don't know how you guys.
I believe we need to have a board discussion.
Then I can bring it back to the rest of our board.
Well, I think,
I think
do
it's
you wanna
gonna
have that
end
board
tonight. I
discussion?
think we're gonna have a board discussion.
Tonight?
And then I think you guys are gonna have to meet again. And then we have you guys go to your board. I don't think it can be done tonight.
you don't think so?
No. There's too
I
much
think the
going
majority of the
on.
people of this community want it to end, Bonnie.
So do we, Paul.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't.
Thank
think-
you.
I was just trying to say that one part there, like if we could find a way to get close in the percentage, then the actual agreement wouldn't be written up and agreed upon.
Right.
Like I said,
You know what I
we
mean?
need to
Then
have a board
those things
discussion.
could be added on afterwards, is kind of what I was.
Right now, I've got two big things. One of them is the percentage. The other one is how the money is split up from the online sales. Those are my two big issues. If we can work through those, the other stuff is gonna fall into place. If we can come up with somewheres where we are so that we can go back and say, all right, maybe we can salvage this. That's what we need to do. If you want to meet again and do whatever and then kick it to August, I think it's a mistake. But you can do whatever you guys want to do. I mean, it's your board.
And as you know, when I came to your meeting,
Yep.
I did say that, I did ask, can we just go back to the way it was
Right.
for this year?
Right.
And resolve this permit and all this, because time is wasted.
Right,
And that didn't flow.
right.
So now we're back to having end result. We're sitting here with 2 board members and 2 board members trying to come we can kind of come to a decision, but it's not with our boards yet. So now we got to go back to our boards. Kind of gets complicated in how we're going to get to this solution.
Well, like
In
Bonnie,
my opinion, I mean, everybody's probably thinking we're crazy, but it's harder than you think. And if you sit on this board, anybody wants to try it, go for election because it's freaking crazy.
like Bonnie said though, we could have a board discussion and we could come up with a percentage that maybe we would offer. We could let them know that, and then they could discuss it tomorrow at their meeting, and then.
That would help us go forward,
That'd be
for sure.
great.
If it's just about the percentage, that's,
For us, we want a percentage knowledge, and potentially we each pay 50% of the software that works for both communities.
Yep.
They can
right, so
separate
see,
down
now
these
you're
sales.
starting to get in, there was software costs. There was asking about another shift in grooming to inlet to, because they only groom one shift and all these things. If everybody's thinking fairness, well, there's a few things that were questioned. And we asked about the Barnstormers situation with you guys. Have they been involved? I mean, basically, they're a club that grooms their own trails. I mean,
Right,
they're not
they have
inlet
absolutely
trails.
nothing to do with this, really.
I know, but I'm just, a lot of things that aren't discussed that are on our plate we're talking about.
We haven't had a board discussion since your meeting, so I would like
I
to.
think we should have a board
Board
discussion.
discussion.
I brought it up Monday, and I was told we were gonna talk about it on Tuesday at the public meeting, and I
Correct.
brought it up Monday.
And today's Tuesday.
I have a
I
quick
think we need
question.
to have a board
If you
discussion.
met a month ago, and this is just me trying to understand, if you met a month ago, how has there not been a report back to Bonnie by now? Because I just feel like the mountain's lovely and I want it to be there. Things can be taken care of quickly there. I think this is pertinent to businesses. We have a lot of winter people that are so upset. We're trying to walk them back down off the cliff and keep them coming back here. I think it's an urgency that we have to look at this.
Like I said, we need to have a board discussion, so we're not gonna discuss any more of this till we have a board discussion. So, would you like to have a board discussion this evening, guys? Okay.
Right
Are
now,
you done with what you were talking about? I don't mean to interrupt, just, do you have anything else on your plate? Okay, Mike, you're up. Then we'll go do what we need to do.
I was gonna make mention that the Stillwater garbage situation arose again this year, and I guess I took care of it. I talked to Scott and we resolved that problem. It's fixed.
Thank you.
Just let you guys know. The highway's been out in Beaver River doing all their work. That's basically done. Another thing is we took a trip out to, Ben and I went out to the Little Fox and met with Duffy and Beth and discussed their thoughts on this trail that might be a potential thought. It's a great idea. There's a lot involved, and I think we all came up with the same thing. I hope you agree, Duffy. We came up with a very common talk over it. There's work to be done. When you come out of Trail 10 and go around the corner to where we think we can get up on the trail, there's probably a quarter mile of road that has to be driven on to get to where we can even start on the trail. There's a lot of things involved. Once again, it's not just like we're gonna go build a trail. But anyways, it was a good discussion, and Chuck was with us. I'm sorry, Chuck, our trails guys, was also with us. And that was, I mean, a good conversation. There is a lot of homework to be done, but you never know, it might come work out. But anyways, that's all I got tonight.
Thank you. We sent an email about the Ottobello paper road that they wish to buy from us. How do you guys, you want us to look into that, or how do you want us to proceed on that? I believe the $1,100 is a little bit cheap for any piece of property.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I proposed $5,000. There's not, a fair market value on it because it's a paper road,
And that value was done a long
a
time.
long time ago.
Whatever you propose on.
5,000, we'll talk to Mrs. Adabello and see if she wants to still do that. Okay, sounds good. Park Ave building will be getting new windows and doors. That construction will start this week or next week. They will start delivering materials. So things will be for TRX and pickleball, there'll be a little bit of difficulty there. On June 28th, we had a wastewater treatment plant progress meeting on our UV project. Everything's moving along fine. We applied for 2 WIA grants, and we should be hearing on those shortly. And as Tom said, with our income survey, we hopefully will qualify for more money with that going on. I think that's all I had. Oh wait, one more. I had a thank you. Come to me, dear Bonnie. On behalf of the food pantry, I'd like to thank you and the town employees for the help unloading our food trucks. We greatly appreciate the young, strong help. As always, we're fortunate to have such a great team that can lend a hand to help out. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Scott, Dana, Colin, and Chuck for all stopping by with all the ideas to help with our sewer problem. We really love our town. Thank you, Bonnie. Sincerely, Jane Cameron. So that was a nice note from Jane. We help her with the food pantry, unload the trucks when the elevators aren't working and stuff like that. So thank you for that. How are we here? Do you have anything this evening?
I do not.
Thank you very much. Anything from our public? This evening, if the public would like to talk to us, we'd like you to come up and stand at the podium, state your name, and address the board. Thank you very much.
Yep, I will.
Yeah, here.
I think most of you here know me. My name's Paul Moran. I'm a lifelong resident here. One question that I have is pertaining to Macaulay Mountain. My father used to be in the chairlift business, installations. I'm probably assuming that that mountain will not operate next winter.
It should be in place and running by December 1st.
You really think so? Because when my father was in that business, it was 10 months to a year for brand new installation. That's basically what you're doing. So I'm just making the statement that I think you're wrong. I don't think it'll be in operation next winter.
50 years ago.
And not a hell of a lot's changed, man. You know, towers are still towers, concrete's still concrete. Still gotta be dragged and lifted up the mountain just the way it did back then. The next thing I have is, I'd like to know why the town board cannot, it's been 7 months with the police contract, they still have no contract. Another question to that is why is only the supervisor and a special attorney has been hired, for that I'm assuming at $300-400 an hour. They still have no contract. They were supposed to have a meeting on the 2nd. The supervisor canceled that meeting. It seems like it's going nowhere. And now we're losing police officers. We've lost Sergeant Baker at Inlet. We're going to lose, apparently we're going to lose, one of the patrolmen is going back to Oneida County, Bud Dillonback. So what's the answer to that, Bonnie? You're doing this all by yourself, so.
Yep, we're in negotiations right now, Paul. We should have an answer pretty soon.
I've heard that all summer from you.
No, you haven't.
About everything. Well, we'll have it done soon, just like the snowmobile permits. We haven't had an answer yet.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments.
You gonna give me an answer?
I'm in negotiations right now. I'm not commenting. I'm in police negotiations. It's a contract. I'm
Why
not
isn't there
commenting.
another one of these board members doing it with you? There should be. You shouldn't be doing that by yourself. Why are we
Not, I'm doing
paying?
it with an attorney.
Why are we paying the special attorney? We already
Because we
have
hired
one,
one, thank you.
and he's found a cash cow with you.
Oh, has he? Thank
Yeah,
you, Paul, for
yeah.
the comments. I appreciate it. Anyone else?
Gonna make me stand up.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll go so fast.
I'll stand by the backup podium.
I'll go so fast.
Oh, I don't want to be in the picture. Hold on.
And I heard several times that there should be board discussion regarding the situation with the inlet permit. Board discussion has to happen in public. That's the function of government and citizenship and us here and all of you. I would just urge that discussion to happen publicly, as it should. That's all.
Thank you.
Ed Condrick.
Hi, Ed.
Hi. I guess my question pertained to the housing grant that Barb was talking about, making us a pro-housing
Housing
community.
community, yes.
So what exactly information do we need from Andy's office? What's pertinent from him that we need to resolve that?
I'm not sure that was step 2. I did step 1 and I gave step 2 to Andy and the board to look into, and I don't have an answer for you.
So I don't have an answer either, I don't know.
So Andy's office holds information that we need to complete that, basically. And we don't-
No, I've asked the board to talk to Andy about
Okay.
the next
So we don't
step.
even know what,
About,
okay.
I think what the process is, right, and what's
Correct,
gonna
and
entail.
what it
in that
would
whole
entail.
project.
I just didn't know what information, because Andy's seemed to think it's gonna be a lot of work for him, and I just didn't know.
Yes, he did think that.
Okay. So we won't know till somebody talks to him then, basically.
I was gonna go there tomorrow.
I talked to him at 5:30 today.
And I'm sorry if I was told to go there, I either forgot
And
or.
number 2, and I know this has been an ongoing problem, but over by Hollywood Hills with the garbage over from their Airbnb renters leaving it out in piles on Sunday and not getting picked up till Tuesday. I know the codes office, and I feel bad for the DPW guys that have to go pick it up. And I don't know where we're at on enforcing that.
It's called littering, and we can enforce a ticket on that. So if you want to send me an address,
It's still
when it's
happening.
littering, I
Like
can
the-
send the police patrol off to ticket them for that.
There's the corner, well, I think you have to find out who's doing it first, that's the problem. Because it's going out by the corner, by Pawnee in a big pile, and then other people see the pile and they add to it, you know, and it's just, I know it's a crappy situation.
I just looked into that today because we had someone who.
And then you mentioned about McCully, so where are we at with the magic carpet lift? Is that all resolved?
That's all going in
Okay.
at the same time.
Okay.
Same time.
I
as-
didn't hear that mentioned, I just
Yeah,
didn't know.
it's part of the chairlift
Okay.
project.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lori Markowskis. I submitted the letter on behalf of me and Diane and Tom Seacrest. We are 2 of the 7 residents on Elm Street in Thundera. I'm sure you all know of that road now. 20 years ago, I've lived there and nobody knew where it was. A little tiny dirt road by the Green Bridge, and now it is a major thoroughfare. The traffic has quadrupled every year. It's a major concern. It falls upon very few residents to maintain it, and it is not cheap to have it raked, to have it plowed, we get no garbage pickup, we get no school pickup, we don't have any town services, and all we're asking is that you all read our letter and reach out to either Diane or myself if you have any questions. We really appreciate your time and effort. I know you got a lot of busy stuff going on, and we are minor, but we just would appreciate.
Minor, we're major.
But anyhow, we appreciate any thoughts into it, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer any questions. Take a ride down there and be careful not to go too fast, you'll lose your muffler. Because it really needs major maintaining, and we're the only 2 residents out of 7 that put any money or effort in. We've tried, our neighbors don't want a HOA, they're against it. One neighbor didn't even know the town didn't take care of the road, they were sold the road and the house, they didn't realize it. And I think it's gonna be an issue in the future, and I'd just like to resolve it,
Thank you. We are looking into it, just so you know, it's in the hands of the attorney. We're trying to find out who actually owns the road right now, because it is not owned by
Right.
anybody that
It's
you
not,
guys are talking about.
no one on the road owns it, and we have
So
a major Airbnb on one end, as I'm sure,
So
everyone
yes,
does on
we
the
are
road now.
looking into this issue. for
So
you.
the other thing
Yes.
is too, because I know there's a lot of private or town, private roads that the town doesn't maintain, but they're also dead-end roads too. So there's not a lot of through traffic on those. A lot of the roads, the private roads, aren't open on either end. So
Yes.
there's a lot
So
of
it's
less
not a
traffic.
thoroughfare.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
So that's.
All right, well, we thank you.
Thank you.
Time.
Thank you
Good
very
morning.
much.
See you later.
Hi, Garrett Hoffman. One of the things I wanted to revisit was, have you guys done anything about the lakefront and
passing your ordinance or looking back into your ordinance to pass it and then amend it at a later time? Where do you guys stand on that?
I can tell you, I'm going back to the drawing board with that, to give a better detailed presentation to this board. So that way, hopefully down the road, we can have something worked out, because it wasn't like the first time around. So, we're gonna go back to the drawing board. We're gonna clean it up a bit as far as wordage and verbiage, and details about what's going on. Like I said at the last meeting, I don't see it happening for this boating season. We're gonna work on it over this boating season and into the fall and into the winter until we can get something that everybody enjoys.
Let me stop you there. Can you kind of give me an idea and a sense of why? Because the ordinance you guys put out was actually a really good ordinance. It seemed like it was very good. The only decision was the signage and how you're going to enforce it.
Right.
Which can be amended at any point in time during the thing. So why not pass what you already had, allow it to go down through, and then just instruct our police department to do what we want them to do?
I agree with
That's not a very hard thing to do.
It's not, but
The biggest part was just the
board,
verbiage in it, right?
that's all it was.
How it was
It was just the language.
That's
That's what it seemed like to me.
That's all, that was my only comment.
I had a couple of questions on some timing and things like that, which, we didn't discuss.
Yeah, there was questions on timing, there was questions on who's gonna enforce it. There's questions on why do it now if the dam's gonna be worked on by the end of the summer, which I still don't see happening. So it's back to the drawing board right now for the time being.
My other thing is as a planning board, maybe if you guys want to, you can maybe pass some of this with the trailer housing over towards the planning board, and maybe we can give a letter of support if it's necessary. That might be a big plus to moving something like that forward throughout the town.
That's a really good idea, thank you.
All right, that's all.
Yeah, no, trailers. Oh, trailers.
Steve Hoffel. First question is, on short-term rentals, when somebody has a complaint, there is a complaint form buried on the town's website. But the other issue, the big issue I have with it is, and I think everybody in the audience will agree, when you have a gripe with somebody, nobody wants to put their name to it because you know you're going to have retaliation from your gripe you're griping about. So why does the complaint form make people put who's complaining? Because nobody's going to complain, because they don't want their neighbor lashing back out at them because they complained about their rental. That needs to be addressed. It needs to be taken off.
I don't think when they go with a complaint that they say, Steve Hoffel filed a complaint against you. I think they say there's.
My understanding is a house up on Hollywood Hills a year ago that had a complaint. The neighbor across the street was bringing it up that he complained. You know, so. But even still, people aren't going to be, if they have to put their name to it, they're not going to do it. Even if they do or don't know that it's going to get mentioned. If they have to put their name on it, they're going to say, I'm not doing this.
So I have a question. Do you think if you didn't have a name on it, that there'd be a lot of just, yeah, you're making a lot of noise, Steve. Had a big party over there. I don't have to put my name on it.
Well,
Do you think there'll be a lot of those? I mean,
no,
I don't know.
think, let's put it this way. I think the ratio of more people actually speaking up would be higher than the false reports.
Okay.
You know, because nobody wants to have retaliation.
Well, I think you kind of need to have a name on it when it goes in so that the people know where the complaint is coming from.
You know, well,
So they can go to that house.
that may be
that
something that
area,
you put on there that
but the
is in complete secrecy.
employee that was taking care of the complaint shouldn't have said the name of the person that complained. That's what I can have. Discussion.
And then,
Nancy's been visiting a few of these places that have had complaints. I don't know if there's names on them or not, but I know that he's visited quite a few different situations.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if you, and you have to ask Andy's office, how many complaints they even get. You know, or it'd be a fun experiment to take it off and see how many complaints they get and see how many false reports they're getting, and you could always go back. But I truly think that people are reluctant to put their name to something.
I'm sure you're right.
You know, and then the other question, I'm sort of just lost here because we were just sitting here earlier talking about snowmobiling, and there's going to be board discussion and then we just jump to another subject. Are we having a discussion?
I think our board needs to talk together about this. We have never had a private board discussion. And we have every right to go into executive session to discuss a possible contract.
Okay.
We do not have to discuss that in front of anyone. We can do that on our own. And I really think that we need to talk on our own. Am I right or am I wrong, guys?
At this point, we do, because every time we've had a discussion with the public, it turns into a monster, and it really.
We don't want
need
that
this-
to happen. We don't want
It's
any,
gotten very ugly, and
I'll
it's
discuss
it's
it
making
anyway, I just wanna
everybody
get
look
it
bad.
done. I'm so
So do
tired,
I.
I've been
I'm
talking about it
sick
for
of it.
18 months, I'm just tired of talking, there's so many other things we gotta tackle, there's so many things we gotta
As
work
other
on,
people
we're
have said,
talking about.
the business community is very concerned about what's going on.
There's no doubt, and totally understand that, part of it.
Even
Because I worked very hard for a lot of years to cultivate the business I have, and I don't want to see it going down the tubes.
Agree.
Okay.
thank you.
My name is Pat Duffy. I'm not going to beat a dead horse on the same topic, but I do ask for you guys' urgency in this to speed it up a little bit. And I'm going to use a point that I struggle with how fast, back to Vicky's point, how fast you're able to make things happen for the mountain. Mrs. Hannah was here in April. She had a request to this board to have a private meeting publicly about what the best location for that lift was. And surprisingly enough, 2 weeks later that happened. Now we have asked for that a few different times, and we've asked to just find a resolution to this, and it seems to not be met with the same attention and thoroughness to get it done. So we've had, I don't understand at this point in the argument, we've been here since November asking you guys for stuff. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and now we're in July. It's mind-blowing to me that you guys have not had a meeting to physically discuss this yet, that you still have to do it today and then wait another month, which will take another month. So can you please speed it up a little bit? I don't understand how that can happen on the other end of things. Literally, 2 weeks later, after Mrs. Hand, and I agreed with her. She had very valid points, very great concerns. It was awesome what you did. It was awesome that you had that meeting. And it was very productive. It was in the morning. I don't understand why we cannot get the same thing. That's what we're asking for. Please, speed it up. We're on borrowed time. We've been on borrowed time for months. I don't want to fight with you guys either, but just look at the numbers and the math, please. Look based off of math and what the economics say, and really take a look at the sales tax revenue that will be lost when you hinder the sport. Understand winter's doing what it does. Let Mother Nature kill it, not this board. Please. If she wants to kill it, let her. Do not be part of it. That's what I'm asking for. Put a resolution in, do whatever you gotta do as a board discussion, but let's step it up and get the pace moving. We shouldn't have to fight you over this topic for 7 months, okay? It should not be this difficult. They're asking for something, I think it's very fair. I am a snowmobiler, I am a skier too. Okay, I'm not attacking the mountain. I love skiing. I'd actually rather spend a day on the mountain than on a snowmobile. Okay? It has nothing to do with attacking the mountain. It's attacking the fact that you guys are allowed always to just jump right in, dive right in, and fix that. Please fix this sooner than later. It has serious impact on our winter economy and most of the businesses in this town.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to just mention something to Duffy. Just a little bit of something on when Hannah spoke up about the mountain. The original discussion, and Brian can confirm this with me, the talk of putting the chairlift where it is now versus the other was very from the beginning it was talked about. And then it got moved, and then it got talked about, so it wasn't just a 2-week thing.
It took a long time.
I understand that. But this
No, I
is-
just wanted to-
I know,
you know,
but you
what he's saying
did,
is
you
that we
had
made a
it, it was
special meeting,
productive,
though.
it was awesome, and it got put where it needed to be put. It did.
Exactly, I
It
just
was
wanted
great.
it wasn't just a 2-week decision.
And it was
that's all.
public.
But, and it was public, yes, but again, her request,
This is what happens in the public, and you know that.
No,
her
I
request was
disagree
to have
with
it
that.
happen, and it happened in 2 weeks.
No, Ben, I'm telling you, I disagree with that. I talked to Association of Towns and all that. I don't believe, it's not, it's an intermunicipal agreement. It's not something that should be discussed in executive session. That's what Linda keeps trying to get on
She
here.
said it the first time it was brought up.
It's supposed to be talked in public.
I think the frustration is it's not taking precedence. It's gone out, and then I've talked about this back and forth, and we've had some really good discussion about it. But when you look at the economics of this agreement, you're talking about an agreement that has an estimated nearly $1 billion annual economic benefit within a 50 to 75 mile radius of this area, as well as the trickle-down economics that come out of it. It needs to be taken much more serious than it is. This is not a political football. They continue to be kicked around, back and forth, dragged out. I hear it every day. People are calling constantly, what's going on? We need to start figuring out what our plans are for next fall, next winter. And I respect all that both boards are trying to do, everything you're all trying to do. But if I could emphasize one point, it's just let's make it important, and get it done. Get it done. Do it right. We've had plenty of time. There's no reason the board hasn't discussed this up until this point. It just needs to be done. You can't just keep kicking this around back and forth.
Please.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm Vicki Fine, I own the Pine Hill Hotel, and I also am a resident here too. We have a home. I want to first say thank you to this board. It's come to my sense that you guys are extremely overworked trying to do way too many things. And there's not enough of you, and I mean that sincerely, for all the different things that you guys have to take care of on top of your regular jobs. But with that being said, just take a step back and put yourself in somebody else's shoes that's trying their very best to be in a community, to work within a community, and set precedent of importance. Because the snowmobile group and the snowmobilers that come here, they don't feel important. They feel like that things are just being taken, but they really aren't valued. I don't think that's what you want them to see, but that is what they're seeing. Because if I can't get people to commit, that's telling me I have to listen to them. I don't have to agree, but their belief is their belief. And they are paying for a permit. This isn't in a tax bracket. They're paying to receive something. So with that importance, could you please just, Bonnie, could you please make the time to find this important? Because if I'm speaking and you're writing, it tells me
I'm
it's
writing
not
what you're
important.
I'm writing what you're
Okay.
saying.
It's all on tape, but thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So, Linda, I did call the town attorney today and asked specifically if we could, and it's legal, and we should be in executive session. And he said, absolutely you can, and you should. Because what he's witnessed here in this meeting, for us to try to deal with it, it's ugly. And I agree with him. I can't even think straight. I would like to be able to talk to my board after we have talked to these guys, and I'll say it's probably my fault that we didn't hurry up and get right after that. A lot of things have been going on, but we just didn't get another meeting right after the one we had. We had a wonderful meeting, I thought. We needed to have another one, and we didn't yet. I knew that it was gonna take more than one. Herb was one of the designated, and actually Tim sat in. So there's factors that do happen, and it's fine. We still had a wonderful meeting. If we can talk tonight, hopefully we can do something. And hopefully we get the respect from you guys to just let us try to talk to these guys quickly tonight. And if I need a motion to go into an executive session or something, I would like to do that.
I'm not comfortable with it because I went over this, and that's what I have right here in the email from Association of Towns. It's right here. Can't talk about this in executive session.
Well, that's fine. If you want to do that, I don't
understand why I can't just come up with a number.
If people here, be respectful and let them talk. Go ahead, you guys talk, everybody else be quiet, go ahead.
It's right here. There's nothing in there about contracts. It's right, I can read them off. A, matters which will imperil the public safety if disclosed. B, any matter which may disclose the identity of a law enforcement agent or informer. C, information relating to current or future investigation or prosecution of a criminal offense which would imperil effective law enforcement if disclosed. D, discussions regarding proposed, pending, or current litigation. That's the one that was used before, but there was never actually litigation going on, so I fought that one. This one is E, collective negotiations pursuant to Article 14 of the Civil Service Law. F, the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. G, the preparation, grading, or administration of examinations. And H, the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property, or the proposed acquisition of securities or sale or exchange of securities held by such public body, but only when publicity would substantially affect the value thereof. That's it for executive session. That's the only reason I'm not like comfortable like making that, or else I would have already made a motion.
You just said that there were contracts in there.
No, I said the
Yes.
contracts are not in there. Maybe before I read that?
No, when you read that.
Contracts are not in there.
I don't know who emailed you that, because when him and I went to the shot put school real quick, it was contracts, personnel.
This is Lori Mifflin
We
DeMasi
could-
from
we could hold-
NewYorkTowns.org.
We as a board can hold a workshop classified as executive session so that we can talk about agreements or contracts.
I'm not making it. This is the General Counsel of the Association of Towns of the State of New York, Albany, New York. I'm not trying. If we go to executive session and talk about it, you guys can make that motion. I'll sit in on it. Sure.
There's not a contract right now, correct? Correct.
It's a possible contract.
It's not. It doesn't say anything about contracts in here.
So if we go.
You guys want? I mean, I'm just going by.
I discuss it right now, it's fine. I'll come up, I'll say what I think.
Do you want us to leave and come back like we did the one time?
Can I just address something for a minute? Can I address something?
Yes, please do.
I'm just telling you, as a town board, planning board chair, and for a lot of years, that everybody yelling out in the audience doesn't really help the situation a whole lot. Is if you have really something to say, and I really think this is a pertinent thing, and I think it causes a lot of strife, is take it up front and address the board directly. And I think it's, there's matters that are going on right now that are very touchy that I think that should be addressed immediately by this board in an open public forum. But doing it by yelling out of the audience can enrage the board, and the board can actually close the meeting, and that's not helping in any production. I'm just asking everybody to do so because of the fact that this is such a touchy topic. Thank you.
Okay, I'll discuss right now then.
No, I'm gonna make a motion to go into executive session to discuss possible snowmobiling contract with Inlet, New York. I also want to put on that we will be like to also go in. I've lost my words, Nance. Thank you. I'd also like to go into executive session to discuss a separation agreement with a former employee. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you want us to leave, or do you guys want to leave? I'll do either one.
Step out, you're gonna call us back in there.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Make a motion to come out of executive session.
Did we reconvene at no action taken?
Thank you. We have reconvened. We did take some action. I'd like a motion to work with Inlet New York on a snowmobile agreement with a 17% of total sales.
I'll make a
Revenue of total sales. Do I have a motion?
Who did it?
Tommy did.
Tommy, second?
I'll second.
Well,
Yep. Could you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Greco,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Aker.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Thank you. On that note, I would like to say something. Inlet will add another shift onto their grooming. We will look at each other's leases, because we both have leases to look at. And we will look at this agreement every year, and it'll be agreed upon every year by February 1st. Thank you guys all very much for your patience. I know it's been hard and long, but we did work it out. Thank you.
I would like to say thank you to Webb for having these meetings and working with us. I think you guys will agree that it wasn't just a quick hurry up, let's be
It wasn't a
done.
quick hurry up thing, and it's gonna have to continue, these meetings are going to continue.
Yes.
Not maybe in August, okay,
Yeah, and
but
I'm
maybe in
hoping
August to start, but we need to periodically meet.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
we are
not-
gonna
yeah,
discuss
not
the
just-
software.
Right, not
Yeah.
just the boards meet, but like the information offices need to meet,
Correct.
and the trail departments need to meet. I mean,
Big part of
everybody
our
needs.
discussion.
If this is gonna be a joint system, everybody that's part of
Yes,
the
that's been
system
our
needs to meet.
discussion this evening. Thank you.
And depending on their meeting tomorrow night, we also discussed the charging of the permits will be reacted or whatever you wanna call that.
Depending on how their
Right.
vote
Reinstated.
votes tomorrow night.
That's
Reinstated, yeah.
This is all pending your board.
It goes to us
Correct.
now.
Goes to
That's
us
correct, Just remember that this has to go through another board.
I'd like a motion to pay the auditor claims.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'd like a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Tommy, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for your patience on that.